Coach, do you take a little bit of confidence out of that South Dakota State the way that game went, pushing them to the wire?
Sure, it'd be hard not to. I guess at a point where I don't necessarily think like being close with them is like a pat on the back, and that's not necessarily like what it is that we're looking for is just being close, but it is about how we played. The first 5 minutes of that game were rough. Our transition wasn't good, and we tried to play a little bit of zone, and it might have been as bad as the transition. But after that, we showed a lot of fight. We went down 18 in that game, and there's something to be said about a team that is not going to quit and kind of see, how things are going and respond appropriately. And we responded obviously really well, closing it within 5 points and 4 minutes to go. And so confidence that obviously we can compete at a high level, confidence that we can be resilient to face probably whatever situation comes at us. So for sure, there's a lot of really positive things out of there, as well as we shot the ball really well against one of the best teams in our defensive teams in our conference, and took care of the ball. Literally had the least turnovers we've had all year. So a lot of really good things to take away, yes.
Is there somewhat of a measuring stick to be had against North Dakota State? As if South Dakota State's the team to beat in the Summit League, North Dakota State is kind of challenged at that second tier there, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I'm not even sure second tier is the way I'd put it. I mean, they're definitely a top tier team. There's no denying that. And they've definitely dominated this rivalry here for the last several years, or at least since I've been sitting here. And so, we definitely need to step up our game in a pretty major way to go down to Fargo and have a good night, because, they're incredibly well-rounded. I mean, their starting five is very good, and they bring a really good freshman off the bench. And so they're a very, I'd say, deep team and disciplined team, yeah.
What's the biggest thing you think that's allowed you guys to kind of turn a corner of sorts here lately?
Well, we're shooting the ball a heck of a lot better, and that definitely helps. And the turnover numbers have dropped significantly. We were pretty high up there for a while. In that first conference game, we come back and we had 29 down in Omaha, and obviously that's not at all acceptable to where we want to be. But since that point, I think it's been 14. I think we had 18 against Oral Roberts, but that's a 50-minute game, not a 40-minute game against 50 minutes of pressure. And then it was 14-14 and then 10 the other night. And so taking care of the ball is obviously a huge factor. And then, when you make shots and you're taking more shots, that certainly is a huge thing. For a long time, I thought defensively we were giving ourselves a chance, and I think we got to probably take another step here on that side of the ball. It feels like as the offense improved a little bit, maybe we've taken a little bit of a slide defensively, so I'd like to see us kind of get both sides really, really strong. But, taking care of the ball and obviously shooting has been huge for us.
Against some of these top teams in the Summit League, how impressive has it been for you as a coaching staff to see your players, especially the young ones, not backing down or falling apart, game plan wise? They're going out there and trying their best in these games. Yeah,
I think a lot of it is just who they are. They show up every single day ready to compete. And it's not just on game day, it's practices, it's every single day. And they're investing at incredibly high levels. So to see the success that they're having is no surprise to me. They're knocking down shots because as we're walking down, I see two players in the gym right now getting shots up. We got, players lined up to come watch film all day. And so, no, it's not a surprise to me that they can do it. Sure, there's something to be said about these young ones that are not shying away from the bright lights or the moments. Obviously that's impressive, and they're showing a level of maybe poise or maturity that you don't see out of young players often. But it doesn't surprise me based on what I'm able to see every day.
And then in the offseason, you talked about, seeing that versatility from your players, and we're starting to see that in the stat lines, with Pemberton and others. What's that mean to see that your team is really starting to take on that identity of, hey, 1 through 5, you got to rebound, or pass, or shoot?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I think we got 2 players in double figures and one at 9.9 and one at 9.6. So we're real close to having 4 players averaging double figures scoring. And that's huge. That's huge. And you look at a game like Wednesday, we score 80 points and Kira has, 6, 8, something like that. I mean, she's not, our leading scorer yet. Typically, that's kind of where we look. And so, yeah, I mean, that's been really helpful. Obviously, just the continuity within the offense and everybody being able to be a threat does make a huge difference, and obviously can impact a little bit of how a team will prepare for us.
All right, final question I have for you is, obviously, the big test with NDSU, they have young players, and so do you guys. How what's this mean to you as a coach to be able to see your young players, gear up for a rivalry game like this?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked a ton about it yet, to be honest with you. I feel like we're in a point right now where we're very internally focused on just our process and getting better. I don't think I need to talk a whole lot about it for them to know, but I'll say, yeah, we got some kids, from the state of North Dakota that are going to go out, and I guarantee you they're going to represent in an incredibly passionate way. They're going to play incredibly hard, and yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. I won't completely, dodge that fact because that's not the reality. But we're treating every game like it's a pretty big deal right now, and it's more just about the standard at which we play.